You may also have noticed on the previous video that there are some white bits and pieces on the bridge, and these are really to cover up some holes in the girders. I have no idea why they're there. In the instructions there's nothing to be glued into them, etc. So what I've done is some very thin strips of plastic card, and I've glued them over, and I will paint them slightly different to the rest of the bridge to indicate repairs, extra bracing having been installed, because this will be quite an old bridge. I mean, I've just used some little offcuts that I used on other projects, so they have some paint marks on them. On the other side as well, there's a couple. Once they're actually painted, once the whole bridge is painted, and these are painted in I'll probably just use a slightly different tone of paint to indicate repairs that have been done a while ago, etc. I may even rust them up just a little bit, but you really don't actually notice it from, well, you won't notice it from a distance. I mean, here the white stands out quite severely. So that's the only real issue that I have, is that I didn't understand what those holes were for. Nothing in the instructions. But overall I'm very pleased with the detail. As you can see, got all the rivet detail showing there. I just need to clean this up just a little bit. Some bits of flash on the pieces that I'll just cut away with a very sharp knife. But overall, that is a lovely bridge. Here we have the first coat airbrushed on. Still a little bit shiny, but that's okay, because I will, once it's all finished and weathered, we'll get a matte varnish coat on it. So I've gone for a green grey sort of colour. I'm not quite sure what that is. It's just something I mixed up to make it something unique when I compare it to my other bridge. I can somehow hold them together. It's a darker colour than this bridge. So that's the first coat, and just reaching over. Here we have the supports weathered. Still got to be painted with a matte varnish, but I'll do that once this is all completely dry. You can see I've ground it up a little bit, and the colours that I picked out before are not so obvious now. All sort of blends in a little bit. So that's that, and I'm just reaching over again. I've started on the, if I can get this to focus. Here we go, the wooden walkway for the bridge. Just doing a sort of wood colour, various different tones. As you can see from the markings, the cutouts, it's difficult to do this one-handed. But the wooden bits will come through the various sections here on either side of the track, so you can actually walk across. if I try it with this hand, you might get an idea. There we go. So roughly like that, but it's still got to go further in that way. I think the edge of the rail there goes to the edge of the handrails here, and there's one on either side. So I think once that's all done, and again, that's just the first coat. There's got to be some weathering and dirt and grime, etc. put onto it, but that's where I am at the moment. As I explained earlier, I've just glued in some supports behind these vertical supports for the bridge on either side, and that's just going to dry overnight. It's a bit messy, but you don't actually see any of that once the landscape is in. That'll all be hidden. Well, to get that off, I just basically had to loosen up a section of this flexi track, and that long fixed straight can easily be disconnected, and then the bridge just lifts out. Obviously that will not be the case once all the ballasting is done, but that's with all the other bridge I have. Once that's all done, there should be no need to remove the bridge at all. So let that dry, and then start the weathering tomorrow, and then hopefully over the next couple of days I'll be able to get that fixed onto the layout, and we can move on. Okay then, see you soon, bye.